Well, hey YouTube, it's Elvis Ammo here. Hey, today we're gonna load up some 9mm zinc bullets, and we're gonna put some on the target, shoot some over the chronograph, shoot a couple of them in the ballistic gelatin, and just take a look at this thing. Now, in the past, you guys have seen me shoot cast zinc, the zinc that I got from the wheel weights that we would normally throw away, the zinc wheel weights, you know, it's of value to a lot of us for some reason. If we can't get lead, or if they don't sell lead in the states that we live in, like for instance California. In California, they don't have lead wheel weights anymore, long gone. So, and for the rest of us, if we have zinc that we want to, that we're normally throwing away, and we wanted to try our hand at casting the zinc for bullets, then it might make sense to us. Even though, if you guys watch my videos of casting zinc bullets and shooting zinc bullets and all of that kind of thing, you know, so far I've done that in the rifles and not in the pistols. Speaking of California, one of our viewers, and he's a friend on Facebook and a viewer of this channel, and a contributor in many ways, you know, just by commenting and you know, interested in this and that. Well, he was obviously very interested in casting some zinc bullets of his own. So Willie Young, thank you very much for sending me these beautiful zinc 9mm bullets. Look at this. Willie Young over there in California decided to cast up some zinc 9mm, and he done a great job. And as finicky and as hard as it is, you know, hard as it is on our bullet molds, you know, he went through a little bit of trouble, but it's something, you know, if we wanted to do, we would have to gear up for it, and you know, obviously there's a skill level involved, as Willie Young probably knows right now. You know, you get better at it, and you're able to cast better bullets and do it without damaging our molds as much. But anyway, there it is. Now this bullet design is a I'm not exactly sure what mold this came from, but it's he had drilled out the lube grooves in it, and that's why it's a smooth bullet, and you can see where the lube grooves might have been. Now he powder coated these things and sized them and everything for me, you know, so it made kind of quick work for me, you know, to load some up and try them out. And so far, I was surprised just in my little bit of few shots that I've taken, surprised in how well they do. I was averaging around 1,300 feet per second in my quick testing, and now we're going to go out there and you'll see, just like I do for the first time, you know, what they do in a group, and the chronograph and that kind of thing. Ballistic gel for sure. But now I'd run them back through the sizer again just to make sure, you know, I think I knocked a couple of thousandths off of them again, you know, down to 356, 357 is what they come out to. This hard material like zinc likes to flex a little bit when you size it. It likes to kind of flex back out. You know, your harder bullets do that. So anyway, with no further ado, the load that I'm making right here is you know, I use published load data, you know, for a 90 grain bullet, and then pretty much I pretty much just kind of added as much powder. I mean, the bullet, you know, is large for the weight. All right, for this is a by the way, these average 80 grains. 80 grains. All right, is what these bullets are averaging. So you know, the load data that I found was 90 grain bullets, and I kind of used that along with, you know, people ask me all the time, how do you come up with a load, you know, for just oddities like this? And you know, the truth is, you know, you just find something as close as you can, and as many of those as you can, and try to get a consistent thought process on what you want to go with. So it's really based on published load data versus you know, some experience and what you've done in the past, kind of thing. That's kind of where it is. But the load data, the size of the bullet limits how much powder you can get in your case. So so really I just kind of maxed out. I use 700X because it's one of the powders that I had, and now this is the Hodgdon's 700X is what I used. It was one of the powders that consistently seems to you know, less powder for more velocity, kind of thing. So I kind of went with that, you know, because I figured I could get I used 4.5 grains of the Hodgdon's 700X, and it pretty much, you know, I put a line on the case right there on my just the trial work that I was doing, and you know, the bullet sits, you know, just about dropped the bullet. The bullet sits just barely below that. So it's kind of it's definitely touching the powder and pushing it down. I wouldn't call it a compressed load, but it's definitely, I mean, I guess it is kind of compressed because it's pressing it slightly, very slightly. But that was the load that I was comfortable with, and you know, this was what the bullet looks like loaded. So that's what it would look like loaded up right there. So so it's just, you know, lightly pressed on the powder. So what we're going to do is we're going to load up some of these rounds. We're going to shoot a group over the we're going to shoot them over the chronograph into a group on the paper, and just see if these bullets can, you know, shoot a group, and, you know, kind of round holes, you know, is what we're going for. And shoot a couple of them into the ballistic gel, see if we can capture a couple of them and see what they look like. So let's take a look. Alright, 80 grain cast zinc bullets. I'll do one more. Oh my goodness. Alright, let's see what this looks like. Alright, let's put a couple of them inside the ballistic gel.
Let's see what we did there. I seen some smoke. I like that. All right. So, so here's the paper. That's not bad. Right there. See? You get an idea of the distance here. That was seven shots, and yeah, I don't know what happened here. One went over here for some reason. They always do, right? Mess you all up. I can't tell you if it was me or, you know, I was trying to shoot over the chronograph and hit the paper at the same time. But you know, out of 7 shots, you know, 4 of them went inside, you know, just one hole right here that it ripped out, and then one right beside it, and one just over it, and then this stupid thing, like they always do. And that was just, you know, that was from, you know, probably 22 feet away. I wasn't trying to prove anything, you know, and honestly, that's just that was just mixed brass. I didn't try to, you know, get anything perfect at all. I just didn't. So I mean, that wasn't the subject. The subject is, you know, shooting. Can we cast zinc bullets for a 9mm and shoot them with any reliable results? And I mean, as you can see with the holes, they look decent. And I didn't do, you know, that was just a, you know, a handful of bullets that I used for the testing and for the trial. So you know, I didn't try to dial anything in, believe it or not. So I mean, just doing it and getting this kind of results that easily, I can tell you for 100% certainty that it's doable. You know, this is a doable thing. You know, the hardest thing is to develop a system for casting your zinc. And some of you that haven't seen those videos, I think I have a playlist, you know, on zinc bullets, cast zinc bullets. Check that out. And if any of you guys, Willie Young, he made these bullets for me, or for him, and you know, I still have a few left over. And you know, just done a fabulous job. He done a beautiful job coating them and everything. Now I didn't powder coat my zinc bullets, but he did, and they seem to work out very good. Now, you know, on the chronograph, the chronograph, there was, you know, the high was, I had a couple of duplicates on there, which surprised me. That's why I started laughing when I was shooting. I was surprised I had a couple of duplicates, you know, just by, you know, the process that I used, you know. But the high was 1334, the low was 1271, the average was 1293, extreme spread of 63, and standard deviation of 25. And you know, that was you know, for just using mixed brass and not taking my time with it, I think that's real good, you know, for zinc bullets. Now the bullet weights, I didn't cull those at all either, and they range from 80 to 81, maybe 1.5 grain difference in all of them, you know, but a lot of them were very much alike and dead on. So done a great job of casting them, you know, for, you know, getting the same weight. So that was done, and then the ballistic gel. This was the first bullet fired. I collected these out of the ballistic gel, and look at them. I mean, they're beautiful. Look at the rifling on these things. Great job. I mean, they just shot so well. There's the bottom of it. You know, the color is all there and barely a scrape at all, maybe. I haven't looked at them good myself. Yeah, just barely a scrape anywhere. So, I mean, you know, the only discoloring that you see there is some carbon, and that's usual. So you see a little bit of carbon. See the rifling from the Glock, and then the second bullet that I shot. This is it. I didn't even wipe them off, barely. So this is the second one, and there's the bottom, and the front of the bullet. I mean, there's zero expansion. We didn't figure it'd be any expansion in the ballistic gel with these very hard zinc bullets. I think I measured them before, you know, at around 35 BHN, and so there we go. You know, this is where the zinc came from. You know, just clip-on wheel weights. You know, that says, that has the ZN, right? And you know, there's my zinc ingots, and I'm sure Willie Young, he has his own zinc ingots now. But this is a totally doable deal to cast zinc bullets, and in the 9mm, I mean, it's perfect. You know, I mean, it really, you know, if you don't have lead for some reason and have a hard time getting it, and have a, you know, opportunity or a supply of zinc wheel weights, you know, you can do this. You know, but anyway, I was very happy when Willie said that he was going to send me some of his zinc 9mm, because that's something I've been wanting to do, and a lot of you guys have asked me to do, and I haven't done yet. So now I've got some zinc 9mm, and I thought, man, I'm just very happy with the results. You know, very happy with the target. And what else was there? Oh, the bullets, they traveled through. The first one traveled at 20 inches and rose up near the surface of the top of the second block, and the second one stopped at 24 inches, which, because of the light weight, I expected them to stop somewhere in the gel. A heavier bullet can easily just cruise right through with no expansion. So just so you know, but I think Willie started with a 124 grain mold that he drilled the lube grooves out of. I don't think it's necessary to do that, by the way. Some people like to do that though. But a 124 grain bullet turns out to be about an 80 grain bullet, you know, just for your information. So there you go, YouTube. I hope this was helpful, and it was a very exciting test. Thank you so much, Willie Young, for contributing to this channel and sending me those zinc bullets. And check out my playlist on zinc bullets if you're interested in, you know, I have some, you know, piercing steel. I have some hitting AR 500 steel and seeing what kind of reaction you get from that out of 223 and a 300 blackout. So anyway, YouTube, I'll see you in the next video.